3 of our US self-propelled 155mm gun, the M40. It's 135 scale by Tamiya. And as I said, we're into part 3 now of the build. And just to recap on what we did in part 2 was we're on step 10 here. And I have to get all of these return rollers, drive sprockets, bogies, all these parts off the sprue, all tidied up and ready to put together, which I've done. So if we look over here, I have A, which was the return rollers. So that's them all in there. They're all been cleaned up and ready. Then we've got the sprockets here. There's 2 of those, labeled them B. All right, then reach over here. We have C, which is the bogies, and we got these two of these go on each side of these. There's a bit more detail. So they go on them. There's all been cleaned up and right to go. And then we did, and then I've done the wheels. Some of these wheels here, which join together like this. Yeah, they go like that. No, they don't go like that. Sorry. The bogey goes between. All right, so they go in there like that. This one will go on there like that. Okay, so that's on each of them. So we've got 6 of these. So we've got, say, 12, 24 of these. Right. The next problem, well, that wasn't a problem, but this is how are we going to get these painted up? So, for example, the wheels or the rollers, they're green, but these are actually rubber black. And the insides are green. All right. Same with the other ends of them. All the rest, these are all green. These small ones here are green, but they also have the rubber black on them as well. So, what I'm thinking is, because these ones are quite small, I have some liquid mask I can use. So the idea is to prime them all in Mr. Finishing Surfer Black. Do them all in black. Now, what I'll do is I'll attach those to the bogies first before I paint. They don't have to be done individually, so they'll all be done, but these will be done individually, along with all of these. They'll all be surface prime black. Then I'll come out with the green, which is, I'm guessing it's olive drab. Yeah, it's the olive drab green. And paint the whole thing, all of them, olive drab. And then I will use the liquid mask in here to mask up the inside of that so it won't get paint on it. And then I can paint that in the black rubber. All right, that sounds like it'll work. Yeah, that'll be in the black rubber. So that would fix that one. These stay green, don't have to worry about black rubber on them. That'll all be fine. That'll all be finished in that coat. Now these ones will need to be black rubber on them, and I'm thinking of painting them with a brush. There's quite a sort of a lip on that where they're on the rims, which are green, and I think that would be fine to run a brush against. So I'm not going to get it on the green, so it should go on quite neat. And even on the back there where it sticks out a bit. So that should be fine as well. Now, a lot of these are hidden by tracks, but not entirely, all right? It's particularly the bottom ones, you'll be able to see them. All right, now I also had a bit of a problem with these cleaning them up. There's a seam line in between these on every single one of them. and the sprue join marks there and there. So I cleaned those off. I started to do the seam lines, but it's just too much work. It's too much to sand all that off. So I think the Mr. Surfacer I'm using should fill that. I'll give them a couple of nice good coats, and then of course the rubber black will cover up any line in there as well, and of course the weathering. I do plan to cover all these in mud, so I'm not going to go try and sand those seam lines away. So that's it. That's where I'm at now. I need to get all those undercoated and to that point. So that's what we're going to do in this video. The next step is 11 is the tracks. I'm yet to decide what to do about that. I did buy aftermarket tracks, which I've found out are the wrong type, and I need to test fit them, but I think they're too wide. I can't use them, so I may have to use the rubber length of track, these ones that came with it, which look fine. I think they'll be fine. But of course, then we need to also, once they're all prepared, they can't go on the tank like they want us to in step 12 because it hasn't been painted and prepped up. So what I'll have to do is I'll leave all of these pieces off, put them all aside, and then I'm going to go through and get all these little bits and pieces here that need to go on the hull and go through all the rest of the instructions to find out what else I can put on here that can be sprayed all as one thing, so that this is completely sprayed with its base coat, and then I can pop all these on, and then the tracks can go on at the end. I'm fairly sure I'll be able to fit the tracks in there at the end. That should be all right. Fingers crossed. All right, enough talking. I will get these, well, when I get them all undercoated in Mr. Surfacer, we'll bring them all out and we'll have a look and see how they are from there. Okay, all right, I'll be back in a second. To you, to me, it's going to be a day. Yeah, all right, back shortly. Okay, so here's a quick view of everything before I go paint them all in undercoat, black primer, all our wheels and rollers and everything. The bogies are all here on the pins, ready to paint. So I'm going to go do that now. Okay, I'll catch you when I'm back. Okay, welcome back. So it's the next day. I've just undercoated everything in the primer. As you can see, all black. And now I'm going to go spray everything in our olive drab. So yeah, that's all I have to do now. All these in olive drab. And my delivery came, so I've got some excess olive drab now. I've also got some extra Mr. Finishing Surfer 1500 black primer. And we've got the TS80 flat clear for the end. All right, so I'm going to go put some paint on these and we'll come back shortly. Okay, so while those parts are drying, I'm going to, the step 11 is track construction, which I'm going to hold off for a bit. I'm not going to do them just yet. We're going to move over to step 12, where it's putting all the wheels and rollers and everything on, which we can't do yet. We're still in the process of painting. But I want to get extra bits on the hull of this tank so that it can be painted. And there's a few little pieces here on the rear that need to be done. There's also even more attachments going on the rear there as well. So I figure we'll start working on them. So what we need is, we'll have a look at that, bring our hull out. So there it is there. looking at it from upside down like that, and we need to put some stuff on here. So we need the D sprue. Where's our D sprue? Must be it there. Yep. Okay, so D, we need D75. We've got two D75s on here somewhere. 73, 74, D75s, there they are there. Cut them off. Two. And then we've got D25 and 24. There they are there. D25 is that. D25, 24. Okay. And we've got D56. It's a bigger piece. It's like it there. There it is. D56. Good. All right, so well, I just got to tidy them up, which won't take much. There's only a little bit to do on those, and then we'll attach them onto here. Just looking at where they go. Yeah, all good. And yeah, all right, I'll get these cleaned up. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got those two on, which just sort of form the top of those two brackets, and then these pieces went in. They can only go one way, and now we've got this piece, a couple of little slots for it to sit in, like that there. I just hold that, get it to stay on. That's it there. Move it up that way. That's better. So I'll just put a bit of pressure on that. And a bit of extra thin around there. That'll automatically seep around. Okay, put up to that side too. And there we go. So that is done. So that's, we can mark those off on the instructions, so we know where we're at. So we've got that on, those two, and that. Those are all for later. Move down here now. We've got D19, which goes through here and here, which is the parts we just put on. So more D-sprue. They're all D-sprue. There's a U-bolt sort of clamp that comes off here. Probably tow hitches there, they look like on there. And yeah, some sort of a winching device sits on the end of the piece there. Yeah, all right, I'll just get the D sprue back out. There it is. And now we'll need D19, and there'll be two of them. There they are there. 2. Obviously these have got to go the right way. There's a little locating notch on that. It shows where that's going to face. And that goes on the inside. I haven't trimmed them up yet, I just want to see if that fits in there. Yep. There's little locating notches in there for it. Yeah, there we go. And that's going to fit well. Okay, so I'll tidy them up. But I'll also get off 2 D23s, which are like little toe connection points. D23s are, must be up here somewhere. There they are there. 2 small ones there. Take that off. 1, 2. Those. And D43, the larger one for the center there. That's there it is there. There we go. And D85. Right up the other end. 86. 85, where are you? There it is there. Which is like one of those ratchet mechanisms for pulling cable tight. Take that off like that. Alright. That's all we need for those bits and pieces on step 13. I'll just go tidy these up and be right back. Okay, so I've got these all ready to go, and I was using my tweezers, and I got one, well I didn't get one in actually. I was holding this little piece in the tweezers and trying to push it into that hole there, and it pinged out of my tweezers and went God knows where. I have no idea, but wherever it went, it's definitely gone a long way, because I was holding it and I felt it go. I didn't see it. I have no idea where it went. This one here I managed to put back in. I used my fingers instead of the tweezers, and I pushed that in and glued it in. But right now I need to have a major search for the other one. I don't know what direction it went. I just heard it go, and that was it. So fingers crossed, guys. I'm going to go on the hunt and see if I find it. Okay, hopefully I'll be back shortly. Okay, so no luck. That is long gone. Fortunately, it's a piece that I could add any time at the end of the build, so if I find it somewhere, that's good. But I didn't hear it land anywhere, which makes me think it may have gone straight on the carpet, but I had a really good look around. I couldn't find it. So I'm just going to hope that it will show up later. Yeah, that's all I can do. So we'll get on with the rest of these pieces and see what we can do. So we've got this one here now, which is just going to sit in there. And I'll try and put this on without losing it. Thinking that's going to go like that. It looks right. I think. Yeah, there are some notches there that show the way that's meant to go in, which way it's supposed to. That's it there. And My God, my fingers have been really against me lately trying to do this. All right, that's it. Let's get some quick set on that before it decides to jump out again. Then we've got this winch or ratchet part that will go in the hole in there, and that's the right way that way, so we'll put it in like that. That's going to be easy enough. Make sure that's straight. Yep. Put that in. A bit more glue. There. Okay. Now we got these parts, which have little locating bits on there. I'll make sure they go. So put this same direction as the instructions, so I know that that one's going to go like that in there. And this one will go same way that way there. Good. All right. And we'll glue them in place. This one. All right. Okay. Now I'm just making sure, if you look at the instructions here, they've got a side view of it and how it should look. And yep, that looks right. And then for this view on this side, it's looking like that. So this part looks like that. Yep. Very good. Except for the missing bit, but hopefully that will show up later. Okay. So we can cross off a few more parts done now. We can cross off that one. The D23, I'm going to put an X through. We'll go missing. So I know that that one I've got to keep an eye out for. And all the rest are done. Except these, which of course are being painted. Let's have a look over the page. So over the page on step 14, we're attaching the tracks. Well, we're not going to do that yet because we haven't got the tracks ready. 15 is attaching upper hull parts. So there's some track pieces to go on the hull there. There's a couple little links to go on there as well. We've got some tools to go on there. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces. But I think we might go back to the wheels because I think they should be pretty much dry enough to go on with the next step by now. So I'm going to put all this aside for now. We'll go back to step 10. And Move all this aside. All right, so I will go get some of these rollers and we'll start putting them on the bogies and working out. Actually, we've got to get our rubber black on there. That's what we've got to do. We've got to paint rubber black onto them so that they're painted up. All right, I'll be back shortly. Oh, welcome back. So I've done all the painting with the olive drab. It's all been done. I'm sorry if there's a bit of background noise. I've got my dryer running. might be on in the background a little bit. So this has come up really well. Here's the bogies that are done, and the green looks quite good. You can see that. It really makes a difference when you use the black as primer. It gives that sort of definition around the edges, like shadows. So they're all good. And then I've got the wheels for those here. All I did was spray, just airbrush the centers with the green that I need. And I left this because this part here you won't see. That's going to go through like that. Okay, so that'll be in there. Then we'll have a wheel go on that end, which is, there they are there. Okay. Now, of course, I need to do the rubber black. I'm leaving those on those toothpicks because I need them as stands to hold them, whereas these have something to hold on to, because I need to paint them with the rubber black XF85. Now, I do have some liquid mask, which had just in case I need. The idea was to fill that area in there, and then I could spray the liquid the rubber black on. That would work fine. But my last build I had to do black tires, and I just brushed it on. So there's a lip around there where the sort of like the metal rim is, and with a fine brush, you know, something like these icky sticky brushes, you just got to just go around like that, put your black on, a little bit of a wider brush, and do that, and it's done. So and it comes up really good, as you'll see. So I need to paint those, and all those wheels will need to be painted. So will all the rubber black on these ones. We've also got these are the drive sprockets. They come up painted. They're fine, they're done. Nothing else needs doing on those. And then we've got these smaller ones. There was a set of 4 of these, which again, I'll just hand brush that, no problem at all. They attach to the other side of these. The inside of that goes onto the hull. If I can show you, it sort of goes on there. So you don't see that at all. It's completely blocked. But I do just need to do the rubber, of course, around there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to go get some paint ready and some brushes, and we'll have a go at this, eh? Okay, be back in a sec. Okay, so what I've done is I've already got the this thinned, this rubber black. You find that a full bottle comes up to about here on the bottle, and then what I do is I bring it up to the top with Mr. Color leveling thinner, and then give it a good shake, and that's pretty much done. So now all I gotta do is just along that edge of this wheel here. Just spin it around like this. It's done. And you can just go and do paint the rest of it here in the rubber black. And then on that inside, there's an inside lip there. Again, just put your brush in the position. Turn it around. Done. There you go. Sorry, I know it's very small, you probably can't see, but yeah. It's fine, no need for masking or anything. Easy. Go there. I will continue and do all of these. The other rollers that are a little bit wider, like these ones here, I've got a wider brush. I'll do just one layer across there. Again, there's that lip in there, so it's not hard to just give that a go. And the wheels that attach on the other side, exactly the same. I'll show you actually. I'll just do this one. Just hold it there. Turn our wheel around. And that's done. This stuff dries really, really quick. It's good. And this is a bit of a wider surface here, so what I'll do is I'll take a slightly bigger brush and just go like that. You're only going to need one coat. Really goes on fine, this. There you go. It's done. And of course there's the inside lip there, so we just touch that, turn it around, run the black around that edge. Done. Okay, so there's quite a few here. You don't want to watch me do this. I was thinking of doing a time lapse, but no need. So I'll come back when all of these are done, and when they're dried, we'll be able to attach the wheels to this, as it's saying on step 10 for the last part. So we can put those wheels on there. We can join these wheels together, these rollers together, and then move onward. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Okay, so these are dried enough to put together. So these were the step 10 and step A, which are the return rollers. I'm just gluing them together here. Test fit first. There we go. Drop a bit of glue in there. I would make a mess on that one, wouldn't I? Drop that in. There you go. So there's the 4 of them. That's done. B is done. They were the sprockets we saw. It's those. And now we'll do the bogies, which are already put together, but they include having some wheels. Is it? Yeah, we're going to put the wheels on them as well. Let's just get that out of the way. Put that in there. Put these in here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're done. Put them away. Then we need these. And we need we need all of these, so let's make some room. Now it does say not to glue. I think, they're talking about, if you look at here, so we've done that, we put those together, now we're doing this. It says you don't glue them in through the bogie, but you do glue them to the other wheel at the other side. Now I'm just looking and I'm just noticing there's an A2 piece. I wonder if I put that on. Oh, I haven't. Hey, I've missed that completely. Isn't that crazy? Oh well. That's a shame, because you would think here, for example, you put these two pieces on in this step. Why not put that on there as well and then do the wheels in this step? But here we've got the wheels and then there's that little piece, which means now I've got to put that on here and repaint them and spray them again. That's a shame. Let me grab that piece and see what it looks like. A2. Got A2's in here. And yeah, that's them too. And there's quite a bit of detail on them as well. So again, I'll probably need to want to spray them black. So what I will do is I'm going to spray these on the sprue. It'll make it easier. There's those three, and then the other sprue has 3 as well. There's the other 3. So I will paint them on the sprue with the Mr. Surfacer Black, let it dry, hit them with the green, and then I can attach them onto there. Yeah, it's a shame that I missed that and didn't look ahead before I saw that. I'm just checking the fit. They're going to go on there. I'll just work out which way. Like that. Yeah. So I will have to spray both sides. That's fine. I'll just tape up these so they don't get spray on them and then hit them. All right. Bit of a delay in things, but I'll do it right. So, well, I could actually, because I'm spraying them separately and putting them on after they're all ready to go, I could still put these wheels on. So let's see how they're going to fit. Take one here, that's going to go in there. Then we're going to need one here. And that's going to go on there. So yeah, I can still spray them and put them on and they won't interfere with the other bits going on. Yeah. All right, I shall do that and I shall return. I'll put all these wheels on. There's quite a few that we'll do all those bogies, put all of those on and these on. We'll come back and have a look at them before I go ahead and do this. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so while those other bits are drying that I forgot about, I've just put a Mr. Surfacer coat on, and it won't take long at all. Give it half an hour and then I can put the base coat olive drab on it and put them on here. But these are all glued in now and they do turn, although some not. It was a bit tricky trying to get the glue in there without it making contact with the bogie itself, but it looks good. They do turn. It's still drying, so I'm just every now and then I'll pick them up and turn them around. So I'm guessing they are supposed to turn because they didn't want me to glue the axles on. So yeah, okay, so they're looking good. So what I'm going to do now is continue on adding stuff to our hull here, because we're going to have to get to a point where we got to go back and put all these on after this is sprayed, including the tracks, which aren't even started yet. So skipping ahead, 14, there's nothing to add because that's just adding the tracks and some more wheels, which we've already put. No, we haven't put together, have we? Idler wheels, make 2. See, there's 2 more wheels that need to be made that they didn't ask me to make back here when we were doing all these. Just checking to see. There. So, isn't that strange? So, for instance, in step 10, there's A. So these are like components you got to build up, substructs, sub builds. So A was that, B was that, C was that, and then you went on to tracks and putting them on. But over here, so from step 12, 13 to 14, we put the tracks on, and there's some more wheels, and it's calling them D. Why couldn't they have had D in here somewhere? So we had A, B, C, and D. Then I could have made them all at once, like I did. Now I've got to make 2 more. Yeah, strange. Sorry, it's off camera. There you go. See, 2 more of them. Oh well, it is what it is. Maybe I should make a habit of looking further ahead as I go, which is what I'm doing at the moment, trying to get all the parts on the tank that I want on there. For instance, all these tools, I want to paint them individually, so I won't need to put them on the tank now. I'll paint them all separately. But things like these little hitches and connections and things, I will put on, like I did back in step 13, where I put all those on the front here. So let me just check and find where those wheels, these extra idler wheels are. These are on the A sprue. And is this the A sprue? No, that's D. Oh, A sprue's in there because I've painted those other parts on it. So I guess I'll have to make them up as well. We don't want to see me do that again, so I'll make them up off camera. But in the meantime, I will start attaching these parts onto here. And we will have a quick peek over. And yeah, there's some more sections to go on here. Look like these are, they're like guards that go on the front of the tank. Now that's something I might have to check because we've already, going by the instructions, already put the tracks on. So if this interferes with the tracks going on, then it may be something that I might have to leave off and paint separately. So we'll see about that. There's other little bits like this D9. There's a little tiny piece that sits in there. We've got some headlights got to go on, which are all the same color as the tank. There's a little box that gets to put oil pump case it is. So that all gets put together and up on here. So that can get all put together and put on. So there's quite a few things I can still go ahead. There's more brackets here. Attaching the gun travel lock. So there's a few things. There's more tools. There's a few little hatches they look like there. So I'll have to be careful going through them, attaching all these little bits and pieces till I get to the point where I can start to throw some primer on this. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at our D-sprue for these little pieces. We want D14, 15, 16 and 17. And they are 13, yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17. And they will go over the right way. Actually go on the front of the tank along here, on here. So yeah, there's a little one point there and one point there where we've got to put these on. Okay, that's easy. All right, I'll get these off the sprue and cleaned up. Be back in a sec. Okay, so I ended up putting those, not only put them together, but I actually put them on. They were the most awkward shaped pieces to put together. That's them there. Just the way you had to hold it and get that panel, that piece on there was amazing. And then they sit on here in the most awkward angle. And sometimes it makes you wonder, you know, like why they couldn't have come as just one piece, you know, and gone on like other bits. Why is it they had to be put together first and then put on? Yeah. Anyway, they're on. Took a few struggles. I did drop one piece on the carpet, I will admit, but I found it straight away, so that was lucky. So we'll circle those on the instructions, and I'll tick the right and left, and there they are, right and left, they're on. Okay. Now we do have two pieces of track in here that are off the C sprue. So we'll have a look on their C sprue. We've got two pieces of track. Where are they? There they are there. Now they sit on the front of the tank here as well, but of course they're going to be a different color. They're going to be the same color as their tracks on the tank itself. So I won't be putting those on. They'll have to be painted up separately. So that's all we can do on this. The tools will all be done separately. Go over the page now. We're at this area. So on step 16, we've got that oil pump case that I mentioned earlier that sits on the back here. I'm just looking at the position where it does actually sit. It's going to sit in here, it looks like. Yeah, there's 4 little location points for it. So that's going to be quite simple. I'll go and put that together, and that can pretty much go straight on. And the lights as well, the headlights can go on. Now, of course, they've got N3, which is going to be a clear part, and X11, which is going to be, go back to here, X11 chrome silver, of course. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'll put them on, less the clear part. We can leave them off. And the chrome silver, I can always touch up that after the thing's painted, completely painted, and just go in there with a brush and do the chrome silver just to do it behind the lens. So that's fine. There's a couple of handles that will go on the front of the tank. There's where the headlights will go, in those 2 locating points there. The handles go below them, I think. And they go under the tracks, so they go over there a bit more. And then there's these mudguard things that sit here. So I'll think about that. I'll just probably check out, I'll take them off the sprue and see how they sit, and if that's going to interfere with putting on the tracks. I'm guessing it will, otherwise they would have got you to put them on earlier, wouldn't they? Maybe. Maybe not. All right, so we'll see. But at the moment, we'll put this oil pump case together. I'll go get the parts off that and get that one ready to go. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm back with our little box made up, and also the bits dried for these, and they're in place there. I've already stuck them on each one, so they're finished now. So now we just got to bring out this. We need to put that, pretty much is just going to go there. And then there's another piece we're going to put on here, a really tiny piece, D9, smallest piece I've ever come across yet. And that will go, I think, in that spot there, D9. Yes, it's going to go there. And then there's D31 and D78, which are a couple of hooks, which will go either side there and there, I think. Just checking. Down there, actually. Yeah, on there and there. No problem. All right. Let me get this tiny piece off here. Really minute. Look at there. See if we can put that in its spot, which is, it's not even the right shape for that. Let me just check. It's definitely it. D9. Oh, I see. It's supposed to stand up. Of course it does. And it stands up the other way. Just figure this out. So that's it there. And it's going to go like that. All right, let's glue it before it falls off. Gotcha. Good. I'll just get the other two little hooks off, and we'll put them on. Be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got those two on. I've got a little light on there, and there's two more headlights to do now, which, like I said before, I'm going to leave the glass off, but put them on. This here, I've decided not to glue that in. I'll put that on after, because if I glue that in now, I won't be able to spray behind it or under it properly. So that'll stay off and be sprayed separately, probably with all the accessories and tools that'll be staying off. I'll put that aside. I'll just grab the headlights off the sprue now and throw them on. Yeah, be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got the two fenders off. These guards that sit on the front here. I'm not going to put them on because I think they might interfere with putting on the tracks. So I'll paint them separately off when I paint up this, along with the little box that was on here. So I'll put that aside also for that. Then we've just got some tools which we won't be putting on yet. So I'll leave that and move down to step 17, where we've got a couple more things that are all going to be green. There's some brackets there. What else we got? More tools at the back, some hatches on the back of there. Yeah, so I'll get all these pieces off, I guess, and yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, okay, be back again shortly. Okay, so I've not changed my mind, but I've come up with a better plan. Because there are so many tools and equipment that I want to paint separately from the hull that I don't want to put on yet, What I've decided to do is I'm going to take all of them off the sprue, clean them all up, and then pop them in a container with whatever step they're fitted in. So for instance, here we've got step 15. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools there, and also the tracks. So they're all going to be put on later. So what I'll do is I'll pop all of them into a container, stick a label in there, put it aside. Then I'll go into the next one here. Another 1, 2, 3 tools there. Put them in a table, label it 16. So I know what to go back. So I'm going to work through them and do all that. Even number 17 has more tools here. And that I want to put on separately. There's 2 of those shovels. And again, to label them into the containers. And that'll make it easier. The more I can get on the hull when I spray it, the easier it'll be. And for those little bits, I'm going to mostly hand paint all the tools individually. I find that's the best way for me. Okay, so I'll go and do that now. When I come back, there should be a stack of containers with all the little steps and all the tools and bits and pieces in it. And we should be getting close to, well, I don't know about spraying this hull yet. There's still an awful lot to go on. Bits and pieces everywhere. The more you look, the more you see. Okay, so what I found is there's a lot of sub-assemblies throughout this. The scoop for the back, the platform for the back, things that will be done completely separately and sprayed separately. So they need to be all put together and put aside for spraying. So all that I'm going to do in the next video. Well, we'll progress through that anyway. But in the meantime, I'll get all these parts off, and then when we come back, which will be in part 4, we will have a look at all the tools that I've taken off and start looking at what sub-assemblies need to go on. Okay, so thank you for following, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, comment below, and yeah, I'll see you all in part 4. Okay, all right, cheers all, bye.